Hello everyone, and welcome to Sentence Structuring Through Conversation. This is Week 1, Lesson 1, and today's class will be an introduction of the course so that you can have an idea of what to expect this coming semester. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we'll be talking about the Skype program and how to use it. The objective of our lesson today is, first of all, to help you become more familiar with this course. Also, to help you get started by setting up a Skype account. And finally, to give you more information about the Skype sessions that we'll be having throughout the semester. The key points of today's lesson, first of all, is the Skype sessions are a super important portion of this class, and it represents a large part of your grade. So it's really important that you pay special attention to today's lecture so that you can know how to set up a Skype account and so that you'll be all ready to go for our very first Skype session. This is really critical for you to improve your conversation skills. This class is intended to help you learn how to include the correct grammar into your actual conversation. And the Skype sessions help you to practice those skills. So today we're going to be focusing all about the Skype program and the Skype sessions and how important they are to your grade. So let's go on. First of all, you may not have heard of Skype before, and you might be wondering, what is Skype? You also might be wondering, how will we use Skype throughout this semester, and what your responsibilities are for the Skype sessions. Today's lecture will answer all of these questions. First of all, Skype is a free software program which allows peer-to-peer interaction over the internet. It allows for video chatting or audio chatting. So, in addition to just chatting, you can also share files, have video conference calls, and many other options. Skype allows audio conference calls of up to 20 people at one time. Our groups will not be as large as 20 people, but we will usually have between 3 to 5 or 6 people in each Skype group. Because there are several people in the Skype conversation, we'll only be using the audio feature, so you don't need to worry about using the video function. That means that you don't need to worry about what you look like because we won't be watching each other on the video monitor, we'll just be listening to one another. So if you want to just relax and be in your pajamas, it doesn't matter because we won't be seeing each other face to face. We'll just be talking to one another using the audio function. Now let's talk about what you need in order to set up the Skype program. First of all, and most importantly, you'll need a fast internet connection. So you'll want to make sure that you have a computer that is functional and reliable, and that you have a strong internet connection. Remember that these will be group conference calls of several people, and so it's really important that each individual has their equipment up and running smoothly in order not to disrupt the group. These sessions are only 20 minutes once a week, so we want to make the most of the time that we have together. So please be sure to test your equipment beforehand so that you don't have any problems with your internet connection. Next, you'll want to make sure that you have a reliable headset. Don't use the speakers that are built into your computer or your whatever equipment you're using. Make sure that you have a dedicated headset in order to ensure the best sound quality. Speakers oftentimes allow background noise, and that can interfere with our conversation. So you want to make sure that you have a headset and one that's working properly. Then the next step is to download the Skype software and install the program on your computer or your smartphone. Technology is rapidly improving, and nowadays we can use the Skype program even on our smart telephones. So if you have a smartphone, you can download the program. The only problem with that is that sometimes the internet connection is not stable on a smartphone, and if you're in a noisy place, there can be a lot of background noise. So if you do decide to use your smartphone, make sure that you're in an area where you can get a reliable, strong internet connection that's stable, that's not cutting in and out, and make sure that you have a headpiece so that you don't include any background noise in your conversation. This can be a great device because it allows more mobility, but please keep in mind about those two possible problems when using a smartphone. It's really unfortunate when somebody's call continually drops and very disruptive to the group if one person keeps coming in and out of the conversation. So if you do decide to use a smartphone, be sure you're in an area with a strong internet stable connection and that you have a headpiece so that you don't include the background noise. Now let's talk about how to set up an account. Each student needs to create a Skype account of their own. If you have an account already from your husband or wife, you can use their account. It doesn't have to be your own personal account, but one that you can use. If you don't have a program already set up, let's talk now about how you can create that account. The first step is to install the program, and I've listed here the website that you can click on or you can copy and paste into your browser in order to find the Skype program. It has a free download that will then take you through step by step in order to install the program onto your computer or your smartphone. The prompts will help you create your own individual accounts. As you can see here, this is one of the opening screens from the Skype in Korean. However, I'll show you the steps in English. Since I'm not anywhere close to being fluent in Korean, I'll show you it in English, but you'll be downloading it most likely in Korean. So just try to follow along and navigate it through the prompts in the Korean site. Once you've set up a Skype ID and a password to create your account, then you'll need to add a contact. But before that, you can personalize your own profile. In order to personalize your profile, click on the top left corner where it says the tab Skype. Once you click on that, you'll see a drop-down menu and you'll want to click on Profile. Under the Profile section, you can personalize your profile either by adding a picture or writing a greeting that you can update as often as you like. Since we won't be using video, we'll only be using audio, it's nice to have a picture to see what our classmates look like as we're speaking to them. So I'd encourage you to personalize your account by adding a picture. Let us see who you are so we can get to know you better. And if you'd like, you can add a greeting or a note to your profile. Now, the next step after you've got your account set up is to add a contact. You can add a contact by clicking on the tab that says Contacts in the top corner next to Skype. So it's the tab to the right of Skype says Contacts. If you click on that tab, you'll see a drop-down menu, and the first item on that menu is Add a Contact. Once you click on that, you'll go to the following screen. This screen will pop up that says Add a Contact, and you'll have a number of different options to choose in order to look up a contact. First of all, you can use their email, or you can use their full name, or you can use their Skype ID or their Skype name in order to find someone. As you see here on this screen, under the Skype name, I've included my Skype ID, which is my name, Piper Carlson, all together in lowercase letters without any spaces or symbols. So I'd like you to go ahead and once you've created your account, add me as your first contact. So you can do that by typing my name in under the Skype name as you see here. And once you type that in, Skype will search all of its accounts and my picture will appear just below that with my information. Once you see that, then go ahead and click on the green button below it that says Add. Once you do that, you'll see a screen that looks somewhat like this. I have quite a few contacts here, and you may only have a few, or you might have many. But you'll be able to see a screen similar to this. It has several different options. The first tab that you'll see here in the main section says Skype Home, and this will show all of your contacts, any updates, and so forth. The next tab over is your profile, and you can update that as well throughout the semester. On the left-hand side, you'll have two main tabs. The first one says Contacts, and this will list all of your contacts. And the second tab will be your recent activity, and you can click on that as well and go back and forth between the two. Above that shows your name and your status. As shown here, it's in green with a check mark, and that shows that I'm online. You can click on this section in order to change your status. For example, if you want to have a private status so people can't see when you're online and offline, or when you're online but busy and don't want to be disturbed. So there are a number of different options, but once that's green, I can see that you're online and able to be contacted. Now that you've set up your own account and you've added me as a contact, I'll be able to get in touch with you. But adding a contact is very important because if you don't add me as a contact, I won't be able to call you through Skype. People have to be connected first and agree to be contacts in order for any conversations or interaction between the two individuals can take place. So it's super important for you to add me as a contact. Then I can go ahead and see your information and contact you at the appropriate time. The next step is to find a group that fits into your schedule. Take a look at the class message board. There you'll see a message from me that lets you know the available times of Skype groups. Once you have a chance to look at those times, choose 3 times that would work for you in your schedule. I've shown an example here of what you need to send back to me to my email account so that I can add you to one of the groups of your preference. Here in the example, it shows the person's name, their first and last name in English, and then the class that they're in, their Skype ID, and then their SDU ID number. This allows me to identify which student is contacting me, and it lets me know that you've already set up a Skype account and that you have your ID here. That way, just in case you haven't added me as a contact, I have your information and I can send you a request to add me as a contact. Below that are the group time requests. So in the first choice, choose the group that's your top choice that would work best for you in your schedule. Then your second choice and your third choice. I'll do my best to try and accommodate everyone's first or second choices, but please understand that I'm working with a lot of students and everybody has a different schedule, and so sometimes it can be a little tricky to try and accommodate everybody's first request. So please try and be flexible and understanding that – sometimes you won't get your first choice, but I'm doing my best. Now let's look at the question, how can I connect with the professor and other students in my group? Well, you don't need to worry about connecting to the other students in your group unless you just want to keep in touch. But you need to just make sure that you've added me as a contact. Once we're added as a contact, I can connect everybody in the group together. So, first thing you need to do is create your Skype ID account, then add me as a contact, choose the group that you want to participate in, and then once I've published the timetable on the class message board, you need to make sure that you see the time schedule that you're on each week. In that timetable, that will be your group for the entire semester. So you need to make sure that you're available at that time every week for the semester and that you make that a priority. It's just 20 minutes once a week. So you need to make that a priority and be online at the scheduled time. Once you're online, I will call all the members of the group at the same time. Please don't contact me first. The reason for that is the person who initiates or begins the call can end the call with everyone at the same time. So they're the one who can control the group call. So please just be online at the scheduled time and be prepared, and I will call you along with all the other members of the group so we can all start on time and then end on time all together. So once again, I've listed my Skype ID here. It's my name, Piper Carlson, and you need to make sure that you add me as a contact and that you send me your Skype ID as well so that I can add you as one of my contacts by accepting your request. Then we'll be linked together, and then I can call everyone in the group. Many times, the students in the group become good friends and want to keep in touch even after the class is over and outside of the class. In that case, you can exchange your Skype IDs with one another and add each other as contacts, if you wish. Now let's talk a little bit about how to succeed in this class. As I mentioned, the Skype sessions are a very large portion of your grade. So if you want to earn a good grade in this class, you need to participate in the Skype sessions. And to succeed in the Skype sessions, you need to start early, sign up quickly, and get familiar with using the program and your equipment to make sure that your sound is compatible, that you have the program already downloaded and your account is set up, and you get familiar with the settings. That will help you to have a smooth start and be prepared. You also need to be prepared about the class material that we're going to be discussing that week. I've posted the weekly schedule of the Skype topics, and many weeks I'll post additional information with the specifics about what we'll be discussing that week in the Skype group. So it's really important for you to prepare for the topic that will be discussed. You need to have some ideas and you need to practice the principles of grammar that we've discussed in the weekly lectures. If you're not prepared, it'll be really difficult for you to participate. You need to have some ideas and to do a little bit of work in advance. Some of the topics will require a little bit of research about the topic to generate some ideas before we start the group class. So you need to make sure to look at the material ahead of time, practice the grammar point in the lecture, and have some ideas so that you're prepared for that class. And as I mentioned, make this a priority. It's not very long each week that we'll have to talk. So make this a priority. Make sure that you're online at the correct time, that you've prepared the material, and in order to get the most out of each week's session. And finally, have fun. This is a great chance for us to practice real-life conversations. And it doesn't need to be very stiff and very formal, so don't be nervous. There's no need to be nervous. We're all learning and helping each other at the same time. And the way we can do that is by talking. So remember, this should be an enjoyable part of the class, one that you learn a lot from, but also one that is fun as we get to know the other class members and learn about each other by practicing our conversation by applying each of the grammar principles that we discuss in the lectures. Now talking a little bit about the specifics of how important the Skype sessions are, remember that the Skype sessions are worth 40% of your grade. That means that if you do all of the other classwork but don't participate in the Skype sessions, the best grade that you can get is 60%, which is a D. So you can't succeed in this class if you don't participate in any of the Skype sessions. Also, it's your responsibility to be logged on at the right time for your session and to be an active member of your group. Now, I know that for some students there will be things that come up, a business trip or a family emergency. I know that sometimes life is hectic and unexpected things come up, and there may be some reasons when you can't make a session. Please try to keep those to a very, very minimum. We have a lot of students, and it's very difficult to keep track of who's in a group one week, who can't make it that week, who wants to change, and it gets really difficult. And also, it takes away from the routine that we get into, and each member is an important part of that team and that group. So please try to be available for your session at the same time every week. If something comes up that is unavoidable, then please contact me in advance when possible, and I'll try to accommodate you to another group just for that week. However, it's your responsibility to be in the same class every week, and if you have to change to another group for some reason, you will have to take a small deduction in points if you can't attend your regular group time. So please keep that in mind. Also, in the past, some students have asked for other type of assignments in place of the Skype session participation. However, the main purpose of this class is to practice your conversation skills using the principles taught of grammar. Without the Skype component, you're not able to practice those skills. And once the week has passed, the class has moved on to the next topic. So once that Skype group is missed, there is not another assignment that can be made up in place of that for those points. So please make this a very big priority in order to earn the points each week for the Skype sessions. Now let's take a review of the points that we've covered in today's lesson. First of all, as soon as possible, download the Skype program to your computer or smartphone. Next, create your own account on Skype and add me as one of your contacts. Then, send me an email responding to my posting in the class message board that sends me your group time preferences. That way, I'll be able to assign you to one of the groups of your choice. After that, preview the first week Skype topic and become familiar with the format of Skype with the different options and functions. Be sure to test your equipment before the first session. The first session can be a little rocky if people's volume are not adjusted properly or their headsets have not been tested out. So be familiar with Skype's format and options, and you can do that by practicing. You can call me in advance just to test out the equipment, or another friend as well who also uses Skype. So please be sure to test, especially the volume. On your computer, you'll have a volume control. The Skype program also has a volume control, and your headset may have even its own volume control. So be sure to test out your equipment by adjusting the volume if necessary on each of those. And finally, get ready to learn and have a great time. I'm really looking forward to this semester. I think we're going to have a great time getting to know each other and learning a lot about using grammar in everyday conversation. I've listed here once again the website that you can use to download the Skype program. This is the Korean version. If you want, you can also install the English version, whichever is your preference. They both work the same. And that brings us to the end of our lesson today. I hope you feel more confident and comfortable using the Skype program. I know for some of you this will be the first time using this type of equipment. For others, you've used it before and are very comfortable. Whichever stage you're in, I hope you feel more comfortable after this class, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Next week, we'll start with our first lesson. I look forward to seeing you then, and I'm sure we're going to have a great semester this year. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.